Here we go, y'all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. So we have Gooby here. His goal right here is just to PB. I think that's how it looks out here. GamingLand's trying to redeem himself, starting off against Love. And that's actually a pretty decent sync right there. Good job on 10 Dog for the sync. So Gooby, of course, starting with Swordplay going in order. GamingLand going to be starting with some Frisbee Golf. He had some really nice wind here, and he should be able to... It looks like it's going to barely miss and go over. That sucks for GamingLand here. Gooby going to be getting the first Oko on Ryan. Decent internet, Pog. GamingLand needs to be landing in a bunker here to stay safe, and I think that's what it's going to do right here. Meanwhile, Gooby gets off and is out of Swordplay before GamingLand can even finish hole 1. That's definitely to Gooby's favor here, as he's going to be jumping into wakeboarding, which is a 2-minute auto-scroller. Billy Mays is going to be... Ooh, Billy Mays has some actual really good wind here. GamingLand playing it safe, however, going off to the left side, making sure it doesn't land in the water. Yeah, no, but GamingLand with some really good wind here on hole 14. Now as long as that's an interesting throw. I don't know if I would have went with that, but he's still going to be able to probably get a birdie here as long as it's not a upper throw here. And it just smacks the tree hardcore. He could angle this and grab a birdie still, though. He has the wind. There, just gets hit by the bunker. That's the bad thing about riding on the edge is the bunker will pop it off. As we can see, GamingLand picking up the par. Similar start to what happened with Simrax and Tyler. Simrax and Tyler had really bad hole or Frisbee golfs. Meanwhile, Gooby just sitting here wakeboarding. Interesting win for GamingLand, but he is going to be able to still make it on the island here, and he's going to go for the overhand throw. Now he's going to need a skip, and he hits the rock, sadly. If he skipped that, that would have been really nice. However, now he wants to make this, and he's going to miss. Not looking good for GamingLand here, as he's going to land just right past here, but he still will get out of Frisbee Golf. He'll still get out of Frisbee Golf. No, he missed. That miss is definitely not good, because that's going to skip up and over. This is not looking good for GamingLand. I don't know where it's going to put. It's going to put him back here. I would go for the iron here. He's going to continue. He's finally going to make it. GamingLand is probably really mad right now. He's jumping into golf here. You can see the shaking the controller. Meanwhile, Gooby's about done with wakeboarding here. GamingLand just needs to take his time. It was a really bad Frisbee golf, but he just needs to take his time, and if he gets some backspin, he didn't quite get it, but that's okay. Gooby's going into Frisbee golf here, and barely not making it. And GamingLand getting a par, Classic A. Yeah, Gooby going into some Classic A here, what a lot of people suggest to do Frisbee golf with. GamingLand has some decent wind here for hole 14. Meanwhile, Gooby landing in the rough on the right side. And GamingLand landing in a pretty decent spot here. His wind's not the greatest in the world, but as long as he doesn't hit the bunker, and he does hit the bunker, that's really so close. He would have been in really nice shape to grab an eagle. But he's going to be getting a pretty decent birdie here. Meanwhile, Gooby finishing up with his first hole on Frisbee Golf. And GamingLand barely missing a putt. You can tell he's pretty shooken. And he's going to grab himself a par. Meanwhile, Gooby going to be landing on the first court. Thanks for the host. I don't know who hosted, but thanks for whoever's hosting. Meanwhile, GamingLand not going for rubber strats. Didn't have the wind for. Gooby having some issues here on hole 2 of Frisbee Golf. He's going to keep it safe as G-Lane lands on the green. Disc done, rating with a party of 3. That's what I see. That probably took a while on my end. Disc done, wishing Gooby good luck. Meanwhile, G-Land is getting out of golf here at a 5:04. It's about 45 seconds behind of what Tyler and Zimrax had. Gooby just getting through, continuing through Frisbee Golf. Table tennis is up. G-Land was talking about getting a good table tennis here. Let's see if Cole will like him today. He paused. That was an interest. I don't know if that was intentional. Pause buffering could be a thing. It didn't work for him that time. But he is going to get the regular serve here. Meanwhile, Gooby continuing through Frisbee Golf. This is an interesting case of Gooby has to watch out not to get out of bounds. Meanwhile, G-Land having a decent Cole. Not the greatest in the world, but still pretty decent for tournament setup. Cole's now going to play with him. G-Land needs to be careful here. An out of bounds is not what you want. Speaking of out of bounds, that's exactly what Gooby got. That was a really strong throw. He's going to angle it, and that's my angle out of bounds, as G-Land's going to get out of table tennis here. Yeah. Gooby having some issues here on the last hole of Frisbee Golf. That might also go out of bounds as well. And now G-Land jumping into some bowling here. We're going to see some Alaska-esque strats as Gooby finally keeps inbounds. Yeah, G-Land, it's best to keep those split spares away. Gooby barely missing that shot there. And that's going to land on the green. And Gooby finally getting out of Frisbee Golf. That took a lot longer. Meanwhile, G-Land going to pick up a strike here in bowling. Gooby going for archery, going in order. G-Land continuing to pick up some strikes. All G-Land really needs to worry about now is keep it consistent, maybe grabbing some golds in the process. Gooby going to not skip the motion calibration and going to be jumping into some archery. As you're going to see Gooby just firing off. It's best to aim straight at the ground, as you can see him going there. Archery's a little finicky if you don't aim straight at the ground. There's some chances of you losing several seconds to the arrow just flying in the air. Meanwhile, G-Land pretty consistent with his bowling here. It's all clean shots. He hasn't done a Tyler and thrown back for the audience. He's not bending his wrist as much, as you can tell from his curving. That's good for G-Land. And now G-Land can exit. That was a really... He could have slid over and probably saved a couple of seconds. Now jumping into power cruising here. I'm plugging his Wii remote, or nunchuck in, as Gooby's going in for some basketball. Into cavern goes G-Land. Gooby just playing some basketball. Meanwhile, we're going to see on the other side... G-Land keeping it clean, having a really good start to this cavern.
What a shot!
He's going to get that really nice boost.
Nailed it!
This is looking like a really nice cavern for G-Land if he can keep this up. Meanwhile, Gooby's almost done with basketball. G-Land went off the wrong way. That's not looking good. Yeah, and he's going to end up, surprisingly, well, it brought him back really far back. Surprisingly, if you fall off on, in that part of the course, it's not that big of a time loss. It's only about 2 seconds. G-Land's going into some swordplay duel while Gooby is facing off against Cole. Gooby with a almost out of bounds there, but still gonna get her. And the first KO for G-Land over in Swordplay Duel. Cole is giving Gooby kind of a bad time? Is the commentary repeating itself?
2-1.
I don't know. Let me know if it is and I can handle it. But
3-1.
right now, Gooby is... Oh, just gonna whack Cole in the face. Well, you'll G-Land going to some archery.
3-2.
I have something that might fix.
4-2.
There. That potentially will fix the issue. Meanwhile, Gooby having some issues here. Had a really nice start to the table tennis. Now Cole is coming back from the brink. G-Land getting out of archery.
5-2. For the win.
There was no issue. Okay. That's probably Danny just being drunk. Gooby just needs to score one more point here. Yeah, Cole giving Gooby quite the time. And G-Land going through some basketball. And now Gooby exiting out of table tennis. Going into some golf. G-Land finishing up with some basketball here.
Solid shot.
And now G-Land going into some canoeing. Gooby
That's it.
going to be landing on the green here. A little backspin would have been nice. That was probably... Yeah, the wind wasn't in the best of Gooby's favors. Meanwhile, G-Land, I wonder if he'll go for a grass skip.
Good par.
Think he's going for grass skip? We're going to find out. He is going for grass skip. G-Land went for the grass skip. In my opinion, it doesn't save time, but it is kind of fun. Yeah. But G-Land getting out of canoeing here. Gooby on the second hole of golf. And landing it really nicely. That was really well
Good birdie.
chipped, I guess you could say. And now G-Land jumping into some cycling. Danny, it's 10 dog.
Great shot.
Typing. Meanwhile, it looks like Gooby... Oh, wow, that's really strong. That's probably going over the island. Yeah, sadly, Gooby missed the island. Forward wind really didn't help with that. Now he's going to go the Tyler safe route. That also might go over, depending because of how strong the wind is. And he did land on the fairway. I think it's just going to land on the rough and he'll be fine. Meanwhile, G-Lane going through some cycling. The Tyler safe route. And Gooby going to chip on just barely almost to the green on the fairway, which he could putt this potentially. He's going to go for the safe chip. You could actually chip that in and save a couple of seconds over attempting a putt. He's going to put it in here, and then he'll be able to exit. He'll be able to exit. He did not get the exit. And so now for the exit there, he did not get the fast exit. He's going to be going into some bowling here. And now G-Land is like 3/4 the way down to cycling here.
Great throw.
Gooby going for his own setup for bowling. He's going to pick up strike off the bat. It is faster to have no setup for bowling and get all the strikes. However, it's harder to get strike. It's a risk-reward type of deal. And as you can see, Gooby getting that spare. It is faster to get the spare than get the than get just no pins at all on your second frame. GamingLand not having the best of cycling. It looks like the second half was a lot slower, and he's going to come in with a 206 and exiting out. So GamingLand only has 2 sports left. He's jumping into wakeboarding here. So he can just kind of play calm here. Gooby still has 3 more sports. And one of them does take longer than wakeboarding. Gooby almost picking up the split spare. What's the world record for all sports, Danny? The world record is a 16:48 by Alaska. Of the people running in the tournament, the next best time is 17:09 by me. That's why I was first seed in the tournament. GamingLand just sitting here. Yeah, spares are technically faster by a few frames. Gooby's going to want to put that into the gutter as he does. And is going to exit out. Now going into some power cruising. GamingLand is just still riding the waves. Going for the beach, I assume. That's the best for people starting out. Gooby keeping on the right side there. Who will exit the sport first? It'll be GamingLand here. Gooby's still going to come in with a really solid power cruising here. And now GamingLand's jumping out of the battle bus. It's looking like an 1830 something. No, a 1930 something on the GamingLand end. No, Danny, GamingLand will definitely not sub 19. It's looking like a 19.3x. Meanwhile, Gooby now going into some canoeing. Skydiving takes about a minute 30. It looks like GamingLand did miss Gwen Skip. You could still get a 130 with a Gwen Skip, or without Gwen Skip. The gold for the longest time was a 137 something by Bandau. Meanwhile, Gooby having some issues on the canoeing. Going all around, but it's looking to keep consistent. GamingLand still falling. And good exit by Gooby, coming now into cycling. As GamingLand's heading up into formation. Yeah, I'm liking the 19.3x for GamingLand here. And it's this 1931. It looked like a early split, but either way, 19.3x for GamingLand as Gooby is starting up cycling. We'll be able to here if it was a early split, late split. I was born in 1931. Gooby continuing through some cycling here. He just did cycling and then into skydiving. Keeping it safe. Gooby's PB is like a low 23. I don't know if he could PB off this. He had some issues in frisbee golf and golf. It'll be interesting to see how it lines up. I'll be able to know once we go into skydiving. But meanwhile, say Gooby's PB is a 23.14. So we're looking for about a 21.44 getting out of this, maybe? That could be a possibility. Maybe we're looking at 22.44. No, 21.44, definitely. Gooby can boost here. It's gonna be close to his PB. I don't think it's gonna quite be it. He's gonna get there with he's gonna exit with a 21.47, so he's about 2 or 3 seconds behind PB. Potential PB. It's gonna depend on the skydiving here.
Okay, here we go.
The second. GamingLand has it retimed to a 1932, it looks like. And meanwhile, Gooby, he just missed him. Oh, he's gonna go back up. Personally, I would have just fell straight down. If you miss him, you miss him. I'm gonna put Gooby at a 23.3x, maybe a high 23.2x. Yeah, Gooby would have wanted to be going down in formation right now. So barely missing the PB, but a good run for Gooby. Issues on frisbee golf for both runners. Gooby had a couple of issues on golf, and then major issues on table tennis. But yeah, it's looking like we're going to get a 23.2x, a high 23.2x. That's going to be a 23.27 for Gooby. Not that far off from his PB. And then Julian coming in with the 1932. He'll be moving on in the loser's bracket. Simrax, go back to sleep. It's 1 a.m. I don't know if there's any post-match commentary. GLand would let me know if there was or not. No, GLand says no post-match commentary. Okay, so I think that's all for us. Stay tuned for more all sports tournament action We got a lot of awesome matchups already ahead, and hopefully the return of Go.